G'day, you legends at Tynes. My name is Jason, and this is my submission for You Did What with Tynes. This is probably a Tynes for fun category, but eventually I plan on building this out further and then doing some cool stuff, maybe making it an interactive app. Anyway, so what have I built? This is my Power Saiba processor. Effectively, what this is it is a vulnerability, or CVE, indexer, processor, transformer, and then publisher. So at the top level, this pulls down vulnerability information from a bunch of free sources. It extracts as much publicly available information reliably at scale. It then applies my own logic and my own insight on particular values and vectors, and then it pushes it into a database that I publish to my own website. And Tynes is the orchestrator for all of this. So we'll go into a little bit more detail with what it does. But effectively, I have a bunch of free sources of information that I run periodically. I then get my own damn index. I build that into an array, extract out all the sources of free information, normalize it so that I can deduplicate based on the CVE ID. I then run it by Circle. Circle is an aggregator, really, really useful to actually collect valid information on the vulnerabilities. You usually collect multiple sources. Circle collects multiple sources of the vulnerability and then does attribution so that you can pull much more information down. I then collect the showdown EPSS, again similar to Circle. It's an aggregator, but this one focuses on your exploit likelihood, but it also contains information on the weakness, or the CWE. The weakness is generally what is the component that fails in order for a vulnerability to exist. So it could be a weakness in memory. It could be a weakness in the processing of data. It could be a weakness in the storage of data. It could be a weakness of a password or the handling of a password. Here in these two scripts, I run my own math that applies some different logic for particular vectors or standardized ways of describing how the vulnerability works. So I take that information and then I apply my own thoughts, my own logic, my own insight, and then I provide a score based on that. I do this for both the severity and the likelihood of exploitation. Here I then build my own CVE payload. I run an awful lot of regex replace to try and create a CPE string reliably, which is a method of taking a normalized and standardized string so that you can match your existing technologies or products or applications to confirm if a vulnerability affects you. I then validate. I search GitHub. If I don't see an exploit, I just very gently, very gently, no harm intended. And then if I see that there's a potential proof of concept that exists in a repository, I update, and regardless of a known exploit or not, I publish it to my website. And so this is already run, but if I refresh, I'm currently at UID of 9. Let my little animation play. I'm now at 76. And each of these should have a relatively reliable way of pulling information down, publishing it, which is available to the world. And this is what Tynes allows me to do. Tynes is the key orchestrator, which allows me to pull information down, extract it, transform it, let me apply my own thoughts, my own insights, and then share it with the world. I do also have some very cool logic that allows me to actually monitor hits to my website. So I use this service called Pushover, and I have a script that sits on my website that when someone hits my website, a little PHP script runs, and it sends me your IP. So Tynes, when I see you checking out my Syndex, or my Saiba index, I'll know it's you. Anyway, thanks very much.